Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another review of Affliction Esports. This is the unofficial review of Week 8 and a little bit of Week 7, as we have some games that have not been played yet. Today, I am joined by Arcaria, Potato, and Stand Ready. So we have two new guys, and if y'all want to introduce yourself, go for it.
Hi, I'm Rosario. I'm the TSQA starting jungler.
Hello, I'm Potato. I'm the starting top laner for TSQBB.
And I would like to think everybody watching already knows who I am. I've done a couple.
Yeah, it's okay, though. We know who you are. We don't need to talk about you. Anyways, so we got some results from Week 8, and they go as follows. TSQA 2-0'd TSQBB, which is the familial matchup between the two. Listen to Your Heart and Collective have yet to be played. Rockport and Oasis was a 2-1, and now that Rockport's won that, they are really officially into the number 1 seed. And then we have an exhibition match between Hibernation and Lit Club. Since they both didn't have a game last week, they decided to scrim each other. It was a 2-0 for Lit Club, but since this was an exhibition match, it doesn't count in the standings. So they don't have an extra game, just chilling somewhere. So without further ado, let's hop into the first game, which was TSQA versus TSQBB. And here it is.
This was a game.
Was it though?
It was fun to
this was
watch.
Watch, yeah, play not so much. Bean Salty 915 with 300 CS. He's scary. It's a scary ass.
I was a big scary bear.
Yeah.
Every
Bear.
game, I took a lot of the kills. I will not lie.
You took every single kill. Like anytime anything happened, it was just you taking the kill. I mean, we just always talk about every time you took a kill too.
Really?
Because we're going full tank, yeah.
I was going bruiserish. I mean, look at my Sterix.
Yeah, the
That's
Sterix is
fast.
essentially a tank item now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a huge shield. It gives you some extra attack damage, so it's a really nice item for Volibear, but like, I don't really know if that really counts you as a non-tank champ. I don't know, though.
Overall, this game was, I say, a lot of mistakes from TSQBB. Say I'm overextending. Their bot lane not knowing when to, like, leave tower, then when to stay, when not to back off. Like, a lot of, like, shot calling mistakes, I'd say. So.
And Potato, what's up with the 6 deaths, man? How you doing that?
I think we were doing pretty okay early, right? But what happened was that Blue Chocolate froze a wave on me, and anytime I walked up, our cereal was there. So
No, you gotta respect
I
them.
gotta. It's.
You never
I
learn.
kind of just. I was a
You never
body.
learn. Honestly.
Honestly.
Yeah, well, that was a very, I'd say quick, but it was still a 35-minute game, but it was a very gapped game 1 with almost 15,000 gold. So moving on to game 2, looks like more of the same.
I cried this
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, but this game, Diddy 7 got a couple smite steals off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this game, DD7, what was it? Slow Dragon and Slow Baron twice? Was it?
Yeah, he stole
No.
Baron twice.
Pee-wee
yeah.
stole a Baron with Jinx Rocket.
Dang,
Okay.
2 Baron
That's
steals. That's
actually
gotta
even
be
worse.
rough.
Incredibly rough. I was not having it.
Yeah.
It was just not my day.
This game should have ended like 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm
Diddy
agreeing with
7
that.
kept you in the game.
Honestly, though, props to him for this one.
Although his build's kind of sus.
Yeah,
Which
just a
build?
little bit.
Do you want to go into them?
Divine Sunderer, Sterix. I mean, Sterix is fine on Vi, but Divine Sunderer, Vi,
I mean, what would you go?
Trinity.
Trinity.
I feel like if you went Trinity, you'd just be too squishy.
Okay. Stridebreaker or Goredrinker are fine.
Maybe.
Goredrinker, not so
I
much.
could see
Stridebreaker, yeah.
Stridebreaker, but I don't think Goredrinker is the play here.
Yeah, I would agree with Strikebreaker, but Vortiger seems kind of
Just
weird.
not Divine Sunderer.
I can kind of see where you're coming from, but
I mean, the Divine
Thunder
Thunder
just
is
kind of
good for the Malphite and the Udyr. It goes through them a lot faster. The problem is that you used your Divine Thunder proc, and then all of a sudden you're standing there for 2.5 seconds waiting for it to come back up again, and you're doing minimal damage because you don't have any attack speed. I mean, yeah, you have an E reset and your W does percent, but other than that, you're really getting in, then you're kind of getting bursted out really quickly. Because that
Yeah.
Bramble and Sterax, even though it's a lot of health, and the Giant's Belt, even though it's a lot of health, it's just not enough. And there's no respect on the AP. I mean, Corazon went 7 and 3, and Diddy 7 has no MR.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a big fan of Divine Thunder, actually. He really likes taking Divine Thunder on World Champions. So
Okay.
I think Divine Thunder is like good on certain champions. It's not as good as like you would think it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like it does so much more because it gives you the healing and I think it's health, right? Percent health? Yeah, it
Mhm.
feels like it does so
Yeah,
much, but the cooldown balances out really nicely. So only certain champs feel really good on it.
The mythic passive as well. Like
Yeah.
if you're not like Ezreal, for example, you know how he used to take it all the time. Like
Mhm.
he would benefit a lot from the mythic passive, which is percent armor pen on both MR or like AP damage and AD damage. So he'd benefit a lot from that. So overall, the item was pretty good, gold value wise, and just damage wise, you do a fuck ton with every Q. So now it's just an item that few champions just don't bother to go anymore.
It's good on NASA.
It
That's
is good on
about it.
Nasus, and you're right, that's about all. And yeah, so that was the first matchup. Going back to our next thing, we have the Lisa Into Your Heart and Collective that has not been played yet. So we're going to jump down to Rockport versus Oasis, which was one of the more iffy matchups. Then people really didn't know what to think. And this is game one. And I lied, this is not game one. Where is game one? Here's game one. Shh, no one saw that. Game one! We just got here. And all I'm seeing is Jable doing a lot of work for no reason.
13-1. Wow.
I mean, to be fair, who else on his team is realistically going to take all the kills?
Rexa.
Rek'Sai?
Rek'Sai.
Okay.
I mean,
That's-
Cho'Gath still
that's
had
about
6
it.
kills. That's a fair amount of kills.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah. I feel like the 1-7 brand really didn't help Oasis.
Yeah. I will say something interesting, though. A team finally full respect banned Feathers. That is 5 bans in the top lane. Malphite, Alawi, Urgot, Panth, and Mordekaiser. They just full out banned him. And he did nothing.
I mean, as Ornn, there's only so much you can do here, I feel. Because
True.
looking at the team comps themselves, Ornn blows ulti, and I mean, Kappa Crusader is way too like squishy to deal any damage, I feel, here. Because Tristana just bursts him with Kraken Slayer, Mortal, Phantom. And then Karma, like, okay, so what Kai'Sa wants to do here is jump onto the backline, destroy them, but how is Karma supposed to catch up to Kai'Sa when Kai'Sa dashes all the way like across the lane?
Yeah, and even before that, how the heck are you supposed to walk up to these guys? You would Cho'Gath Rek'Sai frontlining. Sorry, Cho'Gath Nautilus frontlining for you. You walk up, you get hit, you're dead. Just instantly.
Yeah.
I don't know, this looks
Definitely.
like draft diff.
This is a hard draft def.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, the game's still winnable from Team 2 side, but aside, like, so many mistakes, I assume, like, are already being made because everyone makes mistakes. We're all human here. Like, you can't play these team comps perfectly.
I'm a robot.
What I think is interesting, though, is actually that Heat Viper has no kills. Not saying that's a bad thing, just the fact that he actually gave all his kills, or he worked out the map a lot and got all the assists, got his laners ahead. I'm assuming he helped out Sean and North a fair amount of times, and I'm assuming Jable as well, considering how strong he is. But the Morgana mid is something we don't actually see all too often.
I think it's an incredibly underrated pick for what it does. I mean, I think Summonary could be replaced with Comet probably, but that's just me. I don't see. When I do see a Morgana
more
mid,
supportive role. Definitely.
I mean, does Summonary apply on Black Shield?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not a bad rune, but I don't know. Interesting game. Big gold diff. Only a 28-minute game. Didn't even last 30 minutes, and they got the 52,000 gold. So good job for them. And here, let's move on to game number 2. And here it is.
So
This
we
looks
were
like a
talking
banger.
about this as a team is like Rockport, their only engage is Fiddlesticks all here. That's it. There's the entire problem with their team comp. They have no
Quite
engage
literally
but Fiddlesticks.
Fiddlesticks engage.
Yeah. I mean, he does have
I mean,
Zanya's, but still.
Yeah, no. I mean, you don't as you don't look to engage at all if your team won. You just have
Yeah,
to let
no.
them come into. You have Victor,
But then,
Fiddle.
like, you have Kaisa, Pantheon, and Malphite on Oasis. You don't want to be engaged on by that.
Before you even get to that, like, look at the jungle difference. I mean, a good amount, like 60 CS in 4 levels. That's crazy.
Yeah, Karthus is still balanced, don't worry. Although it was only a 5k gold difference.
True, but that 5k, don't forget the goal difference for a second. The being 4 levels down, it's just you're so much weaker, and all your base stats are so
Yeah.
much weaker. Your health is lower, your damage is lower. And, like, you can imagine he got bullied out of his jungle.
Your alt is a point down, and as fill sticks, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I can see because I feel like Karthus invaded, and then Pantheon just follows. What is Fiddlesticks supposed to do? Because Pantheon hard shoves the waves in, and then
See,
Victor's left to just try and kill it.
I just heard Karthus invade, and that gives me terrible flashbacks of the last time I saw Karthus invade. God.
Hey, it worked this time. And before anyone flames me in the comments or whatever and DMs me, it was 100 CS, 110 CS. I can read and count and subtract. Don't worry about it, y'all.
Pog.
Also, I want to point out
Like
how
115.
Capital Crusader really brought it back this game. Like from last game 1-7 Brand to this game's 14-1 Pantheon.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Do you keep in mind, Kappa Crusader, he's a jungler, right?
Oh, is he?
Pretty sure
So
he's a jungler.
Kappa's a little weird. Kappa was recently picked up by Oasis. So I guess they're trying to fit him in where he fits. And maybe this is just a better spot for him. Instead of playing like that control mage / burst mage kind of champ, he needs that assassin. I mean, if he can pull out the Pantheon, the Zed, even the Talon, and just roam across the map and get his team ahead or get himself ahead, I think it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, it worked, and I think it was great. It's beautiful. I just have a problem with that. He didn't go with the mathematically proven best Pantheon.
Oh my gosh, dude. Get out of here watching Ross Boomstock.
I played that in one of the scrim games.
Did it work? Actually, we'll get to that later. Don't answer that. But yeah, another close game though. I mean, game went to 40 minutes and only a 5k gold difference. And I mean, that 5k just alone looks to be jungle. Most of it was right there.
Almost all of that.
Unfortunately, Viper has no kills here, and that just like it's very detrimental to Victor because 38 minutes, Victor's supposed to like stomp because he's a late game mage, he scales, and then this game just I feel like the difference between the gold team wise is just too big for Victor to actually do anything here.
Yeah. I mean, so both games he actually had 0 kills across the board so far. Which is really weird. And also, I don't like the fact that his tier isn't still finished. I feel like if you're not finishing a tier in a 40-minute game, you got something going on. And that something ain't good.
I
I'd
do
have to
agree
with you.
that he definitely needs the Zonias. But, and then, I mean, it's mythic, but I don't think he needed to finish the Morellonomicon.
No, you needed that tier way earlier.
I don't think he needed to buy the Morellonomicon, in all honesty.
The Morellos
I'm not sure
isn't-
who it's for.
I mean, it's a
Like,
lot of
it-
Pantheon healing because Eclipse.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have. I just don't think it's worth it this game, especially not before you finish enemy.
No, yeah, I would have definitely think.
Wait, I said Manuel. I meant
Yeah,
Arcade.
the other one.
Arcade, yeah.
The AP one that you don't build on Fiora.
Yeah, that would have definitely been better. I mean, if his tier is close, I guess I could understand. But the fact that he has 12,000 gold and it only costs 400, is it now 450, right, for the tier? He should be able to get this a lot earlier than he did. I mean, even getting it before you finish Ludensk is a possibility. And just wait, does Victor not have his special items anymore?
No, not anymore.
No, they
Okay.
removed that.
I don't know why I thought he did. Oh well.
This game gets my banger seal of approval.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, so this is Fasting Senna. I didn't even realize that.
Yes. Anyways, I think that's enough of this game.
Yeah. Here is game number 3. And it is a Rockport victory to secure the 2-1 in the match.
Okay, so they fixed up every problem they had in their draft from the last game, and now they have Rek'Sai Galio as their engage. Great.
Yeah. They're not getting
Even
through
then,
that.
yeah, no. Even the I feel like this draft is still a little bit iffy. If I'm being
I
honest
don't
here.
like the Anivia pick, but everything else is either Rockport signature or just good.
I think Rockport signature more than anything because you don't want Rek'Sai engaging with Gallior. I don't know. It just sounds incredibly inefficient because you're not really guaranteed a knockup from Rek'Sai. I mean, it's there, but if you don't get it, then what happens? Like the enemy just follows up on
Well,
Rek'Sai, and
you
Rek'Sai just
die,
kind of dies. Yeah,
but
it
that's
just
Rek'Sai
seems so
anyways.
like
Let's be honest.
I would have liked the Jarvan here.
yeah.
I mean, Jarvan was
much more-
banned. Jarvan would have been a good pick. Udyr as well, and they banned that too. So good job banning those out. But I think the Rek'Sai is fine personally. I don't really think there's too big of a problem with it. Sean Bear loves the champ. And he played well in the champ. He did well enough to help get his laners ahead. And I want to say big props to Heat Viper. Congrats on getting your first kills of the series. Only
And
took
he
you 2
didn't
games,
die.
3 games.
Like he had 2 flawless games,
True.
Yeah.
Props.
and then he went 0-5 on Victor. But with that, it happened.
Yeah, he made up for it this game, apparently. Which is good to see. Another
That's
fasting
the
Senna.
strategy.
I think they have if Oasis has Leona, definitely Leona in this game instead of Bean. I think they actually win
I don't know.
because
I don't know about
then
that.
you have a full dive comp against the Nivea Senna.
Yeah, you could be right. The problem is that if you dive without seeing Galio, then you're screwed because Galio just screws up the entire dive.
I mean, it's not like for sure win, but it's much more.
Yeah, I think Leona's probably better, like you said. Just because the Seraphine, I feel like, doesn't have play a role in the dive, whereas the Leona definitely could.
Yeah.
I think Seraphine's fine here, honestly. I mean, she shields, she heals. I mean, she grants movement speed, which
She
is
gets
like.
blown up the second anyone walks at her.
But that's
I
kind of
mean,
the problem.
that's why she's an enchanter. She's not more like because Leona and Seraphine here play 2 different roles. Like Seraphine's an enchanter, obviously, and Leona's a engaged tanky like dive champ.
But if you're
So, I
Oasis
mean, I
here,
think
what are you
Seraphine's
looking
fine.
for? What's your goal here? You're kind of looking for that engage. Right now, your entire
You're looking
engage
for hard
is
engage, hard dive by Kaisa. Ornn is a great engager. Lissandra can go in. I'm not gonna say she's great at dive comps, but she's fine. She can work. At the very least, you can alt Rek'Sai.
But I think the Leona would have been better here, just because the Seraphine I feel like offers the same thing the Ornn does. Yeah, you get the healing from the Seraphine, but the Rs are essentially the same. And if anything, the Ornn R is more versatile because you get to control it more.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think 2 champs doing the same role isn't helping anyone, especially after you get. I mean, I guess you could see you can combo it really nicely and get a really big wombo combo. I mean, then you put in the Lissandra R and all her stuns as well. But if you're not playing it perfectly, I don't think it's worth it.
Too difficult to execute well.
Yeah. And with that being said, let's go back to our thing and look at the
Exhibition
final
map.
exhibition match between the two, which I believe game 1 should be here, and it is.
Yeah,
Look at me
look,
go.
it's the mathematically proven best Pantheon build. It's an adjustment.
Did it work?
Yeah, I was about to say, do you want to talk about that?
Well, 3 of my deads were I thought I could fight Urgot. I could not fight Urgot.
That was a bad idea.
This was my second game.
This
of
Urgot
Pantheon
build
against
is
Urgot.
this Urgot build
That
is
is-
interesting.
Urgot build is kind of weird,
By the
but
way,
then
they
again,
have 3
this is before he
billions.
got nerfed, so it doesn't matter. He can do what he wants.
Mhm.
385 CS though at a 38-minute game. This man with 10 CS a minute and absolutely destroyed everyone in gold. Holy.
Booty Bangin' Billy is probably the second best, at least farming top laner in the entire game. League. You know what I mean.
Who's the
I think
best
the
top
only one that
laner?
beats him is Feathers.
Okay, I'll give you that. Feathers Alawi is clean on farming.
Plus, I mean, it helped in this game that no one could really answer the Urgot, so you could just do whatever he wanted in a side lane.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the weaknesses in playing Pantheon on top. You don't have a really good wave clear to match that. I mean, yeah, you did a lot of damage, I'm assuming, but you had no damage to stop the Urgot because Urgot just CCs you and is like, "Hi, I lived past your
Indeed.
burst. Now you're dead."
On the bright side, Lilia and Lulu could not play this game. That's what mattered.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like a bit. I kind of feel like Urgot could win this game just by himself.
If Urgot played it well enough, there was definitely a chance that he single-handedly wins this game.
Yeah, I think with the
But
Galio as
he didn't.
well, but I don't like
don't
Zanya's.
think. Okay, so Booty Banging Billy is a really good solo player. He's easily top 3 top laners in the entire league. But he doesn't play with it. He plays for himself.
I mean, as Urgot, how are you supposed to play for your team here?
No, like even against our actual series last he didn't play with it. Played to win for himself. And it just didn't work. So there we go. Anyways, onward.
Onwards and forwards, the game 2. Whoa, stand ready getting kills. What is that? I thought he was garbage.
Yeah, he is. That guy sucks. So if you're wondering why the Jarvan has a serrated Dirk, he was going to go shield the Serpent's Fang. But
All right, that's fine.
by the way, this was a 20-minute game that we turned into a 30-minute game because we stopped taking it seriously and started just having fun and doing whatever the hell we felt like. This
Well-
should have been 20 minutes long.
In your defense, you got every single objective on the map. So like I don't really think you can count that as giving up.
Oh, we didn't give up. We just stopped like trying hard and had fun. Also, Booty Bang and Billy went mid and went 11-0 on LeBlanc this game and didn't win.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Booty Bang and
Whoa.
Billy, why do you switch to mid and the support switch to top?
I don't know why. Also, Dory was jungle. He's not a very
Oh.
good Olaf jungle.
Man, this game is a game.
This game is a game.
I don't know what to say about this game honestly, because
I think I was 7-0 at like 20 minutes, and then you see.
Woody Bang and Billy 11-0, huh? My man is
Yeah.
just he's too good.
But he
Yeah,
didn't
Zerk
have
and KDA.
10 CS per minute this game, and that's what matters.
He has a perfect KDA, that I will say.
Yes.
Yeah, and
So,
that was this.
I mean, let's be honest here. Our Jarvan and Galio also had perfect KD. No kills, and outside of the fact that our mid laner decided to int a lot, they had the most deaths.
Mm.
Perfect engagement.
The Jarvan jungle, the Predator Jarvan is interesting.
I don't remember the behind that. I'll be honest.
It's an exhibition game. You guys can play it around a little bit. Just enjoy the game for
Yeah.
a little while. Not too serious. But with that being said, let's head back to
Predictions.
the main page and let's go over some predictions for this upcoming week. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's the last week of playoffs.
It is the
right?
last week of
Before
the regular
playoffs, right?
season.
It is. Look at this. It's almost over. Yeah, let's go back here. So we got some week 9 games. We got 4 to play. 5 to still happen. We got some predictions for a game tonight. And this I think will be posted before the game starts, so we'll get to actually have that going too. So the first game that we had is Lit Club versus Rockport. And right off the bat, this is every single one of us here has a different answer.
Yeah. Our coach told me I had to put that we were going to 2-0 them, so I did.
Dang, you
What
gotta
happened?
respect coach though.
Yeah. Anthony threatened me. Send help.
I'm a Lit Club supporter here, so I don't know. I think they'll somehow pull it off. Stand Ready seems like a pretty good top laner. I like the way he plays.
don't know about
His
that
builds
one,
are
Chief.
interesting, but overall, I think it's winnable from the Lit Club side.
I
More iconic
personally
duo
still
than
think
Liquid
that
and
Rockport.
Blue.
I personally think Rockport just takes the series, but I don't think it's gonna be a perfect duo. There's gonna be at least one game where the club gets a win. But I still think Rockport gets a 2-1.
I don't know about that. I mean, just looking at Rockport's how they played in the past, I mean, they've only given up games now, I think, to Oasis. Oasis and TSQA. That's it.
I was about to say.
Sorry, I forgot TSQA. I'm sorry, man. But Lit Club is neither Oasis nor TSQA.
Yeah, we're better. We've lost to both of them.
Point proven.
Interesting.
So I think
But
they're
you
going to
see,
take the
if
2 out.
we beat Rockport, That means we are better than both TSQA and Oasis.
No.
Clearly. Yeah.
That means y'all are a bunch of weirdos and y'all can't be consistent.
That means for G2 we can beat the best, but we just lose random games.
Sure, we'll go with that. Except for the fact that you're not the best. Anyways,
And we're not European.
yeah, that kind of matters. They play in a good region. Then we got the next matchup, which everyone agrees on: Collective Odyssey versus Oasis, and I think this may be the first time that everyone across the board agrees on something, like perfectly.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah, so realistically, because everyone's agreeing, Collective Odyssey is going to 2-0 Oasis. We've actually given them the review curse.
Ah, you mean the one that hasn't come true now ever?
Hey,
I
doesn't
like
matter.
that.
Well, anyways,
Overall, yeah, I think the game is just kind of set in stone already. I mean, I hope Collective can take it, but if they can't, then I won't be surprised. Overall, I think the chances are decently there, but this game, it just looks too hard, personally.
Yeah.
this game does look rough for them. This is one of their toughest matchups they have to get through, into the playoffs. Even getting up before it. But even then, I don't even think it matters too much. Like we said, everyone's hitting the playoffs. So it's really just competing for seeds right here. You don't want to be in 7th or 8th seed, and that's what they're really competing for here. So I think it'll be interesting to see, but I definitely think Oasis just stays strong and takes it 2-0. Then we got the next matchup. So we got Hibernation versus TSQBB. And we all have the underdog to win this one.
What? No, TSQB is not the underdog.
By standings,
Get
they
out
are.
of this. Well, and? What's your point?
Hey,
Nice.
if we're all agreeing on it, there's got to be something here.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I'd
don't know.
like
I
to
got
say that just like TSQ Baby wins this because I think their top side is incredibly strong. Bot side can be a bit iffy, but they do have the potential to pop off. So I think overall this game is kind of a wrap, I'd say.
yeah. Unfortunately,
I-
here, if TSQBB wins this, they still end up taking. Oh no, we have a tiebreaker for 7th and 8th. Oh no, we don't. I don't know.
We won't,
It
because
depends.
this is the head-to-head.
No, but it goes
If
by game score
TSQBB
as
wins
well.
this,
I
they
don't.
should
I
end
don't know.
up
We
in
have to
7th.
talk to. I have to talk to Toadstep about all that nonsense. He's gonna run that out. So they're competing for the 7th seed, I believe. I could be wrong, but they are competing for that 7th seed. Actually, if it goes 2-1, or yeah, 2-1, 2-1, I think they're actually even. I don't know. I can't math right now. But they are competing for that 7th seed, which is a better spot in playoffs, but not really. You're still starting off in the losers bracket. But if Hibernation can take this win and Collective Odyssey loses, there is a chance that Hibernation can move up and start in the winners bracket. So they're probably definitely hoping for that one.
Sam, any thoughts on your team?
Well, yeah, I didn't put 2-0 because I still think we're gonna make some mistakes one game and it's gonna get punished. But I still think in general, I think we're still gonna win 2-1. But that's because I'm on the team. But
Yeah, I've got
That's some
faith in
realistic
Potato,
thinking.
thinking that he
Me
can
too.
take this one for the team, especially if he gets on a champ that is good on and doesn't let the Hibernation top laner farm for the next 20 years. I think they'll be good. But if he just starts to farm, I think this game's gonna snowball out of control really quickly.
Wars are
Yeah,
cool.
no offense.
I like
No
wars.
offense to you guys, but I doubt you can get 11 or 12 towers as Fiora just because. I believe in you,
We'll
but I
find
don't
out,
think
though.
you're gonna do that.
Yeah. And the last matchup we have is Listen to Your Heart versus TSQ Academy. And once again, we're all just like following the boat here. Is TSQA winning it? Stand ready, you don't think they're gonna 2-0? What's up with that?
Okay, Listen to Your Heart is still a good team, even without Ray. It's just if assuming they have an adequate ADC for Sunday, I think they at least take it. I don't think they win, but they definitely at least take it.
I don't know, man. Because they have to get a new ADC, I think that it's gonna be a little rough. Because they've only had now maybe a week or two to actually select and go through with it. If that long even. So him running on minimal games with the teams, I don't think the communication and the teamwork's going to be there just yet. I think for playoffs, it should definitely be there. But until then, I think TSQA just takes this simple 2-0 and doesn't stress too much about it.
All right, I see how it is. Yeah,
believe
I mean, ADC is like a big role in 5v5. So unless they have like someone who they're already like super comfortable with, they know how they like to play the game. Like essentially all on the same page from the start. It's already going to be like a difficult game for them, and it's just it's inputting a new ADC is already like tough as it is. So
Yeah, and with it all together, I think TSQA can take this one. And so do the rest of us.
thank
But
you.
the final matchup we have is actually one that's going to be played in about, I think, like 5 hours, if that. We have Listen to Your Heart versus Collective. And me and Stan Reddy already have our prediction for that, and these have been copy-pasted from last week's review. But since we have some new guys, we thought to give them a shot at the prediction. And they both agree that Listen to Your Heart's going to 2-1. In fact, they pretty much copy-pasted what me and Stan Reddy said.
That's cap.
So what's up with that? What's the prediction for this one looking like?
I mean, I Listen to Your Heart's a good team. Like as you can see from the standings themselves, and we've played them a few times. I think they have definitely the potential, but I think you know what? I'm gonna change. I think it's a 2-0 from Listen.
And what's up with David Potato? What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm thinking about the same thing. Legion Chart's a really good team. We've played against them, and I just think it's also 2-1 because on about 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0 is a little tight and minimal mistakes, but
Yeah.
2-1 lets the game go by. And with that all being said, I'm going to take us to our one last section before we close out this review, and that is going to be the playoffs for next week. So we actually have canceled out the gauntlet because we have two teams who have decided that playing this league is not fun anymore. So they have decided to break the rules. And with that, we now have everyone playing. There was an announcement put out earlier today that we are breaking up one of the weeks going by, and that it's going a little bit earlier. I believe that's updated. It is. So now we have 2 weeks separating these games, but that does mean that the playoffs do start a week earlier than we expected originally. So that nice little bye week that some teams had, and some teams will still have, has now disappeared or been reduced by a week. Just looking at it, seed 1, 2, 8, and 7 all have byes, while seeds 3, 6, 4, and 5 duke it out to try to continue going in. Into the winner's bracket, that is. Every team will have a second chance unless you are seed 7 and 8 and have to start down here. And we will play all the way until the winners of both sides collide and we get an overall winner. Not sure if we're doing a bracket reset or anything fancy like that. In case the loser's bracket dude wins. I don't know. If captains want it, we can always decide on it later. But this is all unofficial, so don't quote me on anything. But with that being said, is there any playoff predictions you guys have? Any underdogs? Anything that we think is going to happen that, doesn't really show?
I think Rockport wins the entire thing.
All right. Well, you know what? Fuck you.
Win and win.
I think TSQA wins these.
I'm agreeing with him. I think TSK wins these two.
Flawless run. I'm saying it right now.
Flawless
I don't know
one.
about that one.
Just for that, we're gonna take a game off you if we go again.
I don't know, man. Flawless game's a little rough. Look, Club, do you know what standing you are in right now? I believe you guys are 5th, if I'm not mistaken.
Right now,
You are
we
5th.
are in 5th.
So yeah, if you play, you'll play them the second game as long as you keep your current seed, because seed 5 plays seed 2. So you will play them
Alright.
quite quickly. Yeah. So as long as you guys keep your current seed or go up a seed to seed 4, you will play. It will be Lit Club versus TSQA as long as you win your first game. Don't go putting out your seed right next to you. But that
And the
will
first
be
one's
interesting.
against Oasis, if I'm not wrong.
Seed 5 plays seed 4, which could be, yes, that's Oasis. So that's not an easy
Could be
game. You
Oasis.
do got to get through
Oh.
Oasis.
Okay.
Um,
So we have to beat Rockport, and then I believe Oasis has to lose to Collective for us to move up to 4.
yeah, but if you beat them, then Oasis is going to go down to 5, and you're still going to play them.
Yeah.
So you're not helping anything.
one way or another, we're definitely probably.
You're-
Unless Listen to Your Heart loses their next 2 matches and Oasis win, like they should.
There's only one match though before the thing ends.
Well, yeah, because Listen still plays today.
Oh, right, you are correct. So yeah, there is some possibilities for some weird mishaps, but for most of it, the top seeds are pretty much locked in. Seed 1 being Rockport, seed 2 being TSQA, 3 being who's 3 right now actually? I haven't even looked. 3 being Listen to Your Heart's number 3. Okay, I forgot about that.
If we beat Rockport, TSQA is probably number 1.
If you beat Rockport, if you beat Rockport, TSQA will jump to number 1 because Rockport will no longer have that 7-1 match score. The way it goes is match score first, game score second, and then for playoffs, I don't know exactly how we're doing tiebreakers if there is one needed. But
We had to head.
probably. Unless there's some sort of stat we're going off of. But I don't know, you can yell at the founders for that one. But with all of that being said, that is all we have for the review today. That is it. We will see you guys on the Rift, catch by the streams. And if you want to join the next one, feel free to DM me or put it in general chat with a mention to me, and I will let you know how we can set you up joining this. If your team hasn't been represented in the last few, get over here. We have been trying to get every team's opinion on this. And for the playoffs, I probably will be mentioning people specifically from each team so we can get someone from everyone, especially to go over the playoffs matches themselves. But until later, I will see you next time, and have a good rest of your day. Peace.
Woo.